Hi, Kathryn here with Circle Art Designs. Today, I will be working on Project 6 from the April Bargain Bead Box series. This project will be a rose quartz tree of life necklace with a beaded chain and matching earrings. I know you've seen me do this before. This one I will be beading all the way around to the very back of the neck. So let's turn our eyes to the mat and get started. So the first thing I see on the mat, is a bracelet. I am changing. I'm going to have to bead out for a friend. But as I turn my eyes to the mat, I see this Simply Grateful. And I like to start with Simply Grateful and think about just one thing that I am grateful for today. And today I am grateful to the Lord for the rain and that the rain has stopped and we still have electricity. What are you simply grateful for today? Let's get started. Okay, we're going to put on our mat, which is my blue mat. I love that color blue. And it has a line in it, and it came that way. I have rubbed and rubbed trying to get that little line out where it was folded, but no luck. And I am putting on my pin to begin with. The last video I did, I forgot to put the pin on, and about half of it, my fingers were either right at the bottom or right off the screen. So that's where we're going to get started today. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up our little finding pouch and move all these out of the way. When I first did this, I separated some of the things I would need into pouches, and I like to do that, and that's how the previous one got into April instead of February. But these big, beautiful faceted beads are 9.5 millimeter crystal in a light rose AB. Aren't those beautiful? I just love them. Alrighty, so next for the earring portion, I'm going to use silver lever backs. And then I'm going to have an extender for my necklace. And of course, regular lobster claw clasp. I love those. And full of jump rings. Now we'll need more jump rings than this, but that's what I put in the first little baggie. So next up, let's see. We should have the 31 by 27 millimeter rose quartz of life pendant. Now, isn't that gorgeous? I just think that is stunning. This is one of the ones that I ordered 2 of, so I could have one for the shop and one myself. It is lovely. Then next up, I pulled these pearls. These are 8 millimeter pearls. They are in the beautiful pastels. I will be using these glass pearls in that beautiful light pink for this. And I have also pulled some 11O silver seed beads. And you can see right there, they're 11O seed beads. And I will be using those also in the components for this chain necklace. Aren't those lovely? You know, I use these a lot. Those and the matching gold. Now then, for the chain, I have pulled chain from my own stash. I had thought about using this one because it is the stainless steel that came in the kit. I'm sorry it's fallen off, but you see how small those links are? And if I put the wire for my component, tried to put it through there, it would not go. So even though I had saved this for this necklace, I can't use it. The links are too small. I don't know why I didn't think of that sooner. But I do have this stainless steel in my stash, and those are the ones I'm going to use. You'll also need some head pins for these to make your components on, and you'll need a looper or, well, you're going to need straight nose pliers regardless. But for the looper, we'll put it across, we'll put it through the hole on the other side, and we'll practice doing that a little bit. And that is what I'm going to use to make the components for this lovely, lovely necklace. Alrighty. So now let's see. I'm trying to get myself straightened up. I'm saying, where are my hands going to be? Is that going to be right? Yeah, I got a little paranoid after the last one. So here we go. So one last time. This is all the things we will be needing. I'm going to do 3 of those beautiful 9.5 millimeter faceted beads. I'm going to do 3 on each side, and then I'm going to put pearls in between them. Now, at first I thought I might use the different color pearls, but here I'm looking at it with just the pink pearls to see if I like that. And I do. I think that looks really pretty. But I'm going to go ahead and try them with the blue, like that. There's also some green here and some yellow. And so I'm just looking to see what and you know, when I put this together, it's gorgeous, but it reminds me of Easter and not spring and summer. So those are going out and the pinks are going in. We'll need 3 of the 9.5 millimeter crystal balls and that light rose, crystal beads and the light rose, and you'll need 6 of those, and you're going to need 6 of the 8 millimeter in the glass pearls and that very soft powder pink. And so all the rest of them are going up so that I don't lose them, because I am really bad about losing things. You would never guess that about me, would you, after listening to me several times? But I am. Okay, and I have pulled some of these crystals right here. This is from my own stash. These are the, I believe they're 4x3 or 5x4, I don't remember, crystals. And I'm going to start off here with a seed bead, if I can get it on. The first thing I'm doing is making sure these 11 O's will go on this eye pin, because sometimes they don't. I also pulled out all the powder blue in a 4, no, that's a 3. And a 3 glass pearl. So I'm going to put on glass pearls on either side of the light rose. So let's get a picture so I can show you what I'm doing. Okay, so for component 1, it's going to be an 11O seed bead, then a 4 millimeter pearl, your 9.5 faceted round bead, a 4 millimeter pearl, and then your 11O seed bead. Once we get that done, we're going to make sure that the end is closed, just like that. We're going to take our looper on the other end. We're going to put it across the jaws. We're going to butt that seed bead right up against the side and the eye pin through that little hole, holding it, making sure that it is the same. Oop, it jumped out. Sorry about that. Okay, again, the 11O up against the side, through the little hole, making sure that both circles will be in the same plane. We're going to close the jaws, if I can hold my hands together. All right, now we're going to close the jaws. It should be straight up if you've done it right. And then it's a slight pull backwards, and that will end up making a little question mark. I love seeing little question marks. You know, life has lots of questions, and the answers are not always hard ones. All right, so here we go, and we're taking our straight nose pliers. We're going ahead and closing it by bringing it to the wire, and then just a slight push backwards to make sure it's over the top of the component. All right, let's go ahead and make another one of those. Start your 11O seed beads. Then you're going to take that little 4 millimeter pearl, then your 9.5 millimeter faceted round ball, then a 4 millimeter pearl, and an 11O seed bead, regardless of the color you're making these in. Now, I've made sure that the end was closed. Isn't that lovely? I just love that component. I think adding pearls and crystals to both of the components will really draw this necklace in together. I'm giving you lots of time to see what I'm doing. I did not know I was going to put a picture in. All right. So again, we're going to put it where the 11-0 is right up against the jaws, mash those, twist it back. You should get a nice little question mark. And then we're going to go ahead, get back up in the thing and close this up. Then you see how it kind of leans to one side? Then I put right at the bottom whenever I say pull it back. So that you're not really touching the circle. You're touching that bottom of your main wire. And that pulls it back over the top of your beading component. And so there we have 2. We're going to make a total of 6 of these. So when I get them made, I'll see you in a minute. And we're back. I have all 6 of them and we're ready to go on to our next component. So for our next one, we're going to do the soft pink pearls, those bicones in the light pink AB and our 11-0 seed bead. So it starts off with 11-0 seed bead, a bicone, just like that. Oh, you know what I was doing? I was checking it. Did you know that bicones have a short end and a long end? Make sure both of them are facing the way you want them to. Then I put my my 8mm pearl, another of the bicones, and I'm putting the short end up against the bicone so that the long ends point outward, just like that. And then I'm going to put on my seed bead, and this one will be ready to do. Okay, so here I'm showing you the seed bead, the bicone, the pearl, the bicone, and the seed bead. And do you see right there, one of those ends is shorter than the other one. So I'm putting my short ends up against the pearl. Alrighty, so now we are ready for the looper. Now then, same as the other time, you're going to push that 11-0 seed bead right up against the edge, mash it, it should be straight, and then a short pull down and you'll have a question mark. Then once you get those question marks done and closed, pull them back over at the very bottom, not in a loop, so that it'll sit straight up on your component. Again, a seed bead, a bicone. Make sure that the short end, whatever end you started with, that's the one you want. And then the bead, and you see the short end going right up against the pearl that I just knocked off the eye pin. And then another bicone. And again, I've put that short end up against the bead. And then an 11-0. Now, not all bicones are like that, but these bicones are like that. And so that is the component. Go ahead and put it across the jaws, through the hole, mash, should be straight, a little pull down, and you have a question mark. Again, move that circle to the wire, then getting a hold of the very tip of the wire. Right now I'm making sure it's closing, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to straighten it out a little bit, make sure it's closed, make sure it's over, and here I'm holding it between 2 chain nose pliers and twisting because I got a little ahead of myself and did not make sure that my circles were in the same plane. We're going to make 6 of these, so I'll meet you in a minute. And here they are. Aren't those lovely? Now this is component 1 and component 2, and I think they are just gorgeous. Before we move on, would you please like and leave a comment for this video? And if you haven't subscribed already, would you please consider subscribing and clicking the notification bell to keep up with our newest content? Thank you so much. It means a lot. Okay, moving on. Now the first thing I have done is I have cut little sections to put this chain together. I'm counting out 12 links for this, if I don't drop it and have to recount it, for this next step. You can see some I've already done up in the top, but after I've counted out 6, I put a head pin, not 6, 12. I put a head pin in that 12th length and then cut the next length. That way I don't have to try to hold it and keep it. And I don't know about you, but my hands shake and there's very little chance that's going to happen. So again, I lay it down flat on my mat. I count out with a head pin, straight pin, piece of wire, it doesn't matter what, but count out however many links you've decided. I want this whole necklace to be a beaded necklace. So I'm counting out 12 links between it, and that runs a little over 1 1/4 inches. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'll do it one more time because consistency is the name of the game, right? So you're going to count out 12 links. Then you're going to put your eye pin through it and I hold it between my palm and my thumb and forefinger. Then I get my little wire cutters. These are flush cutters, and I cut right on that chain, and then I add them all up. Now you're going to have 5 of these plus 1. Well, actually 5 for each side and then 1 for in the middle. So now after I've got them all cut out, I'm going to go ahead and lay the pattern that I want for one side of the necklace. This does not count behind the neck, because I can't stand having things behind my neck. So I just put regular chain there. I'm also going to need 2 chain nose pliers, and I'm going to need some 4mm jump rings, because I don't want my jump rings much bigger than the end of my component, so it will blend. I hold the jump ring between 2 chain nose pliers. I twist one wrist. It opens on one side of the jump ring. Then I put on my chain, and then I put on my component. I twist that same side back together. I'm going to feel the top to make sure it's not rough. When it's not rough, it's ready to go. Again, another jump ring. I hope I don't make the habit of falling off, because I am trying to see these teeny tiny little jump rings. Okay, I opened it with a twist of the wrist. I have put the chain on that I worked with a while ago, and I'm putting the next component in my line on that one, touching the top to make sure that it is not rough. If it's rough, it's really not closed. Twist one wrist, open it up. Now I'm going to a new chain, but this time I am going to pick up the component I just put on and put this on the other end of the chain. This way I am joining each of these going down the line, and I'm less likely to make a mistake if I have put them in a pattern before I start. When I first started this, I would just leave all my little things in little bundles and trust my memory to remember which one I was picking up where. And a lot of times I had to go back and take things apart. And even today, if I get sidetracked by somebody walking through and asking me a question, I'll forget what I'm doing. And you'll catch that sometimes on my videos, because I try not to edit things like that out, just to show that we all make mistakes. We're all human, and it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. There you go. And so this is what I'm going to do for the rest of these. I'm trying to get them all ready. I'm showing you that I'm going to use all those, put it together, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this is what the first side looks like. Now, isn't that pretty? Now then, I'm going to go ahead and do the other. And I did. I'm sorry. So I've got both sides done. I didn't see why you needed to watch me do both sides. But now I'm going to decide what I'm going to do in the middle. Because at this point, we have to put on our pendant. Because it came with a bell. You can take the bell off if you want, but I'm just going to leave it on and make this work. I have decided to go ahead. I'm going to use a slightly bigger jump ring. I'm going to use the 5mm instead of the 4mm millimeter for this. I'm putting it between the 2 chain nose pliers, twisting one wrist, holding the other one stiff. It doesn't matter which one as long as you don't twist both of them. That's just as bad as pulling it apart. Now I'm putting the chain on the jump ring, and then I'm putting the component that I finished with on the side pieces. And then I'm closing it together, making sure it is smooth so that it's really closed. Then I'm going to put the bell on. Now this is a beautiful component because it doesn't matter which is the front and which is the back. These beads are the same all the way around. If it did matter, make sure you lay front side up when you're working this one. Okay, again, I put on my bell with the front side of my rose quartz up. I'm twisting one wrist, opening that 5 millimeter jump ring, putting on my chain onto the jump ring, and then I'm going to put on the component I finished with on the other side, and this will close up your necklace. Now, really and truly, if you don't mind having beads in the back of your neck, your necklace can be through right now. I personally would prefer just to have chain. I have a neck issue and the beads really bother me, and I have never worn necklaces until I started making them myself, and I realized I didn't have to put beads in the back on my neck, and I just find it more comfortable. Now, isn't that lovely? I just think that is gorgeous. Okay, to finish this up, I have cut 2 inches of chain for both sides. I opened up my jump ring. I'm putting my chain on just like that. And then I'm going to put the component, open component, from one side of the necklace. This one didn't quite get closed. I felt it and I went, oh, that's bad. And so I'm going to play with this one a little bit. I don't know why it's giving me issues, but it is. And I'll just play with it until I make sure that there's no rough spots. If there's a rough spot, I'm going to mess with it until it's soft, because if it's soft, then it's really closed. All right, then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Looking for a jumping that maybe won't give me a chest as last one did. We're going to open it up just like that with one twist to the wrist. Going ahead and putting on my 2 inches of chain. That gives me a total of 4 inches in the back. And this will be a long necklace. I like long pendant necklaces. That's what I tend to make for my shop. And they usually run between 26 and 28 inches. So I'm feeling that. That one closed really well. And now we're ready to go ahead and put on our lobster claw clasp. Now then, for the lobster claw clasp, I'm opening up a 4 millimeter jump ring, just like that. I'm going to put it on my necklace, and then I have already checked my clasp to make sure it will open and close. Always do that, because I can't tell you how many I have bought over the years, got them on my piece, went to close it, and then it would not, it was stuck. There was some kind of malfunction with it. Okay, so I've got that on. Now I'm moving back to the 5 millimeter, and I'm going to put it on the other side. This allows me to close my necklace right there on the chain itself. But I'm going to go ahead and put an extender on it. And the reason I am is I'm putting this up in my shop, and maybe somebody else would prefer to have a 30-inch necklace. So I'm going to take my straight nose pliers, because when I put an extender on, I like to add a bead charm on the extender to finish off the back of the necklace as well. And I'm just going to hold the wire around my straight nose pliers, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to turn it down, and I'm just going to twist around the bead. You can also do this with your looper. but I like to make sure, if at all possible, when I'm using this teeny little wire like this, that I get a wrap on it as opposed to just a loop. Then once I have got it down, I am making sure I tuck my wire into that loop so that it doesn't catch your clothes or your neck or your hair. Oh, look at that, I fell off. Okay, but I know you'll be able to see it in a moment. So I'm going to open up. Let's get a 4mm. I'm going to open up a 4mm if I can get one that I like. I am down to the end of my 4mm. I use them all the time. So I have the ones that are my rejects. Or at least because they're not easy to work with. They work, but I have to play with them a lot. So I ended up putting a 5mm on this. And that is the little bead. And I am cutting my extender in half. And I can't say cutting. These extenders open up just like a jump ring. So I have counted halfway from the last link in this extender. This will add an extra inch onto this necklace if somebody wants to use it that way. And then I'm going to take and add this extender right on that 5mm hoop, just like that. And then I'll take, well, I say that, but it fell off. So now I'm going to have to put it back on and put it back on. And then I'm going to take both of my chain nose pliers and I'm going to close that link up just like that. And that gives it a beautiful line. And just like with any jump ring, you want to make sure this extender is smooth when you touch it with your finger. If it is, then that is closed. And that is this necklace finished. Isn't that pretty? Now I will put pictures at the back of this, but I do want to go ahead and make the earrings for this. But this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. It has such a old Hollywood glam to it. Yeah, I just love this kind of jewelry, and it would be beautiful for daytime wear, evening wear, the office. It's just gorgeous. All right, this is a picture of the things we will be using for the earrings, and I did talk to you about it at the beginning, but we will be using the same little 12 inch chain for this, and the eye pin. I made sure my eye pin was closed. Now for this one, we're going to put on the faceted 9.5mm. What did I decide? I remember. I went, why am I not using the silver? I need to tie some more silver in with this. So I got out some 11/0s. We're going to put the 11/0 on. Then we're going to put our faceted 9.5mm. Then we're going to put on the 4mm pearl, and then we're going to put on another 11/0. And now I'm going to take my loopers, because this is a more substantial eye pin than what we were using for the charm, and close it up just like we've done for the necklace. Then I take my straight nose pliers. I'm going to go all the way down to the wire. Once I've touched the wire, I'm going to catch just the tip of that wire and move it back to where it is setting over the top, and make sure it's really closed and that both of your loops are in the same plane, just like that. It looks like I'm being really rough with these, but this is sped up a little bit because nobody wanted to watch my hands shake in slow motion. Okay, so now then what I'm doing is I'm deciding, do I want it to go from the large to the small or from the small to the large? And I chose putting the large up near my ear and then slimming down towards the tassel. Now to do the tassel, I'm opening up a jump ring, and this is a 5mm. I'm putting on 3 of those beautiful chain we use for the necklace, and this is in the 12 link again. Then I'm putting on my component and closing it up. Slipped it right off. Yes, I did. And closing it right up. Let's see, that doesn't look closed to me. I can tell that from here. There you go. All right. And so that's what it will look like. We're going to open up another one of the 5 millimeters, and then we're going to put it on a lever back. These earrings, it does not matter what is the front because they're all the same all the way around. And so we'll, oh wow, I slipped again, man. Get a hold of that, Kathryn. I'm in a hurry. Here we go. And it just closes up just like that. And you have the earring. And then I will do the other earring off camera because this is a long piece. But that is what it looks like. Isn't that pretty? So I'm saying I'm going to do it off camera. I've cleaned off my workspace and I'm going to put the other one right there. Now, isn't that just glitzy? I love it. Just love it. And it looks perfect with this necklace. A rose quartz tree of life beaded chain necklace and matching earrings. It is beautiful. Let me show you a video I took of the finished pieces. So this is the earrings. I'm going to hold it up so you can kind of see how they're going to hang. Isn't that pretty? That soft pink pearls look gorgeous with that light rose. They're just gorgeous. And then here is the necklace. And I just think that is classy. Really classy. So pretty. All right. Well, let me finish cleaning this off. I'll be right back. This piece is up in our shop at circleartdesigns.net. It will be the necklace and earrings together as a set. I really love this piece and I think you will too. Please stop by and see what we have to offer. And again, thank you so much for joining me on this beading adventure today. I've had a good time and I hope you have had a good time as well. We both learned something and we both shared some time together. God bless you this weekend. May you be with a joyous weekend full of His mercy, His grace, and His blessings. I will see you next week. Kathryn, circleartdesigns.net. Oh, and here are some pictures. God bless y'all.